Hello, this is Sonia. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. So I invested in a Cricut BrightPad. Is a BrightPad something that you should invest in? Well, I thought I would do an unboxing with you and let you guys see exactly what it's capable of doing. Firstly, I do make merchandise from time to time. As you all know, I've shared with you on the channel a couple of instances where I designed t-shirts. I thought this would be a tool that I could use to not only help me with my weeding, which is a um, task that is done when making shirts and using vinyl product, but also when I'm working with different intricate types of projects. So let me share it with you. First of all, the packaging is unbelievable. And the contents were very simple. The BrightPad itself, your warranty information along with the power cord, and it is a USB power cord. So I did get a chance to read and review some of the information, and I'm going to share that with you as well. The packaging, I might add, definitely a beautiful storage packaging type of box that they provided. So I'm definitely going to hold on to it where I don't have to keep the device itself out or what have you. And I really like the way that the cord is flat, and so it doesn't it won't get kinked up or what have you. And as you can see, it's very the utility of it is very good. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in, and then I will be back with you guys in a moment. What I like about the BrightPad is the thickness of it. It's not that different from my tablet that I use from time to time to create the videos on that I'm sharing with you now. It's the Cricut BrightPad is similar, most similar to the iPad Pro. Another thing that I liked about it is that the lighting is adjustable, and there's 5 different lighting settings, and that's going to be an advantage to us when we're working on the um, the project that I'll share with you guys in a little bit. So I think right now what's happening is that I need to get my cord around my camera, so this way it's not going to make anything fall. This little device came with it. I'm assuming that it's to probably get it's probably one of those tools that you will use inevitably, but I'm not sure exactly. It didn't mention anything inside of the book, and I'm just sharing that with you right here. Very simple, very easy to use, has a power button, and then it has the adjustable settings for the lighting density as far as the lighting strength. And you'll see here shortly, this is just a display of people using the BrightPad to work on jewelry and also to do some tracing. But for my purposes right now, I know that I'm going to be working on some shirts for school, so I want to go ahead and use the BrightPad to help with weeding the vinyl material, and I'll share that with you. So this page is what applies to me, and so it just gives you a better control over the weeding process. As far as the device itself, it gives you a better experience with working with weeding your projects. And you'll see it here shortly, but what it'll do is it'll illuminate in such a way that when the vinyl is cut, you can see some of the lines. The light will pass through, making it easy to see where to um, pass your weeding tool to remove that negative space that you don't want to work with in your final product. So let me pull a couple of vinyl pieces out, and I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm going to go ahead and get this thing powered on. I apologize for this brightness, but this is the brightest setting right here. And I'm just going to grab a piece of blue vinyl, and I learned some things along the way of working with it. I'm not going to give away too much because I do want you guys to enjoy the footage some, but this was my very first vinyl project on the Cricut BrightPad, And as you can see, some of the lighting is actually passing through right now, and very vaguely you could see the score lines of where the Cricut machine cut the vinyl, but you could see it right now. There's the specks of lighting that are coming through. Something that I think I'll do in the future is maybe adjust the setting on my Cricut machine to where it will score it a little deeper, not too deep to score the carrier paper, that transfer paper, but just enough to where it'll literally, I could see the lighting a little bit better than this. Now, something else that I also noticed when I adjusted the lighting, that also helped with um, showing me exactly where the score lines were when I adjusted the lighting. So that will be something that you might have to do as well. But like I said, um, this was my first piece of vinyl that I used the BrightPad with. So it was like a learning experience at the same time. So something that I definitely will incorporate in the future is using some blue painter's tape or something that's called frog tape. It's green. You can get it in a myriad of colors these days from Home Depot or Lowe's or what have you. And basically what that's to do is to just hold the vinyl down where it's not coming up to meet me like that every time I'm trying to remove the negative spacing. And you'll know what I mean if you've used the vinyl before. It has a tackiness that's holding the vinyl down. And with that being said, each time I'm trying to remove some of the negative space, my fingers are stuck. My fingers are not necessarily stuck, but they're in place on that sheet, and it does provide some give. But just literally small pieces of painter's tape, because painter's tape is easily removable, to help hold the corners down would make for a better experience with using the Cricut BrightPad, in my opinion. And in retrospect, the um, the manual itself does mention using something to hold down the project, but I didn't have it at the time of this particular project. And I just thought to myself, you know what? I have some painter's tape. I could definitely use it to hold this thing down some. Another thing that I did was to just see if turning my overhead light off, if that would have helped or provided a better experience. Because at one point, when working with this other project, um, when I turned my overhead light off, it made for a better experience. So that's something else that you might consider if you have a BrightPad or if you're considering getting one. Remember, the overhead lighting might cast too much light um, going down onto the project itself. So maybe eliminating the overhead light and just adjusting the light on the BrightPad will be more than enough. And I'm going to share with you that particular project also where I did that. It's going to be a red vinyl project that it'll appear red, but the true color is orange. So in the end, am I pleased with the purchase of this? Yes, absolutely. As a matter of fact, it was this device was something that I invested in around the holiday, and if you're interested, I purchased this one through Michaels, where they offered like a 1 day only discount or something like that for the Cricut, anything that was Cricut branded, so to speak, because Michaels doesn't, they don't always have um, uh, Cricut items on sale, or if it is on sale, then it's not the best sale price, I would say. But around the holidays, they had these on sale, and I made sure to grab one. And I'm sorry, I'm just getting able to use it now, but I did want to share it with you guys because from time to time, I may want to make some merchandise and definitely have to pull something like this out. Okay, here is the next project, and I want to show you the different settings, um, the light settings here, and it's simply the minus and plus sign. You can take away as far as decreasing the lighting, and you can see it there how it does it. And then, of course, if you want to increase the lighting, you would just press the plus sign. And there are a total of 5 different settings. And so, like I said earlier, when I noticed that when I turn my overhead lighting off, for me, being close up on it, and I know the camera doesn't do it a whole lot of justice here, but when I turned my overhead lighting off, it made the project a better experience, weeding experience for me. So that's something you might consider as well. And I'm also going to go ahead and incorporate those the blue painter's tape as well. And all I'm doing right here is just pointing out to you that I can see the lines very clearly. The camera doesn't pick up on it as well as I thought it would have, but trust me on this one. If you try it, just try turning your overhead light off. It will give you a better experience, I think. And so, like for this particular project, I'm going to conduct the weeding without my overhead light, but at the same time, I'm going to decrease and adjust, or I shouldn't say decrease, I'm going to adjust my BrightPad lighting. And that also helped with being able to easily see where the score lines were on my project. And then, of course, you could always adjust the setting on your Cricut so that way it will either cut deeper or a little less. Um, the blade will cut a little less. It's just up to you. I mean, I tend to use I have scrap pieces, and so I may just throw a scrap piece on my sticky mat and just do a test cut first, and that's never a bad idea, especially if you don't want to waste a lot of this vinyl stuff. This particular vinyl is the Caesar brand. I enjoy using the Caesar brand, and it is a heat transfer vinyl. It's what I use for the shirts. And as promised, here I am just tacking down the corners with blue painter's tape. And the reason why I like using the blue painter's tape is because it doesn't leave any sticky residue behind. It can be easily removed and you'll never know that it was there. And I have a roll of it. I got it from Home Depot. I want to say maybe what, a couple of bucks for a roll of it, and you could about imagine how long that'll last. So I even used the blue painter's tape to hold down my project on my sticky mat. The only thing I haven't figured out um, yet is, you see how the scraps build up on the side when you weed it. Um, Hopefully, if you want to, somebody would share with me a way that I could just accumulate those and have them not just like sitting there. You know what I mean? Like, how do you guys deal with the negative space removal once you've had it, or how do you contain those? I know you throw them away, but as you're working on your project, are you just peeling it off and then putting it in your hand? I saw this one YouTuber, she wrapped a piece of tape around her palm of her hand, and every time she would weed some of it, she would just stick it onto there. I like that idea, but I'm sure there's got to be something that's a little bit more efficient than that. So I'm curious to know, what do you guys use? And if you don't mind, please post it in the comment section below. And as you can see, working with the painter's tape, it's perfect. It grips the mat. It grips not the mat. It grips the project perfectly. It doesn't come up. If you remember, when I was working with the blue project, the project itself was not stable. It was coming up and everything and what have you. And just having it tacked down just on each corner made for a better experience. So listen, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, please subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments section. Check out the description box for some information if it's something that you're interested in. Also, if you haven't seen it already, look on the channel. Um, I'm going to go ahead and link the video for the design of the shirts that I did. And yeah, this is Sonia saying thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.